Hello there, everybody. It is Duck Designs doing another course review today. Today we're looking over Vulcan's Retreat, made by Klutzy Soupy. Um, Kid, again, this is another person who dropped their course in one of the comments. If you want your courses reviewed, just drop the name of them in the comments and let me know. I'll get around to trying them out. But let's check out some of the course details here, see what we're dealing with. We got a normal, medium fast in the greens. Clear and afternoon. 7,800 yards. Let's check it out. Let me actually check. 3 tees. Decent distances between and 4 pins. Good. Never like it when people only have 1 tee and 1 pin. It doesn't really, just doesn't flow together.
Hello there and welcome to PGA Tour
Alright,
2023.
first little view off the start. Looks like our cart paths are like walking paths. Looks like they were based around a volcano. Very interesting. Very interesting. Gonna have to place this course in the fantasy category. Got some wild little holes out here, it seems. I do really like the idea of the black, like, volcanic rock beaches. I think it looks really nice on this hole right here. I actually really like the look of this fairway. How it kind of bends and plays. We got a lot going on here. Really do like the idea of it being around a volcano. I guess the volcano would be full of water at this point. No longer active, we're assuming. Got a little island green hold out here. In terms of decoration, there really isn't a whole bunch. Doesn't seem like you really needed a lot. Seems like we got a lot of grasses down here. That's probably where a lot of your objects went. At this point in designing, I just assume that pretty much everybody maxes out their object and memory counter. So I would assume you placed a lot of grass to fill that up. But yeah, interesting course. Let's get down here and start playing. Hole number 1. Humongous drop off. I like the fairways. I was looking at some of the fairways in the other holes. I like the look of them. I like the shapes. In particular, I like these shapes that have very distinct little ins and outs, reasons for areas and stuff like that. Alright, let's just smack one.
Oh man, you really got a hold of that.
And I smacked it a little too far left. A little bad kick off that hill. I do like how you have that hill splitting shots both ways.
Coming up here just in the first cut.
Alright, let's see. We could get there, but is it really gonna help us that much to be over there? No. Am I still gonna go for it? Yeah. I mean, there's not a lot to complain about here. I mean, it's very simple. Like, I don't know. The green could have had a little bit more structure and reasoning to it other than just 2 tiers, but it's not bad. Not bad at all. Less is more in these new greens. Bunker does look like it is a stock shape, however. It's hard to tell nowadays if they are or are not, but be careful with stock shapes. Seems like we have a little custom area over here that we didn't check out before. That's actually very nice. Very nice. Yeah, I enjoy little stuff like that. Stuff that I'm trying to get better at doing. Stuff like this. Yeah, I mean, first hole, nice starting hole. Maybe a little aggressive on the downhillness on that first tee shot. But other than that, good first hole. Now, I think we'll have to see how this course keeps playing, but I feel like this is a realistic fantasy mix. So you've got some aspects of realism out here, but you've also got the aspect of fantasy, as in like this course could never exist. There's some holes that are just funny. So well, we'll see how it gets later in the round, but these first two holes are fairly realistic. I mean, bunkering up here is a little bit unrealistic, being on such a big slope like that. Uh, to really make this pop, this right here, I think this would need to be a more defined tier, all this sand, and this be its own separate tier. So instead of having it go and kind of just be smooth, you have a fairway, fairway, drop off, sand, sand, sand. I think having it be like this just kind of makes it kind of all mesh into one almost. I don't mind the rocks in it actually. The rocks actually I think offer some nice little touches of color in there. Maybe having the rocks a little bit more down, like submerged in the sand. Also, with the beach here, I have made a video before talking about how to get sand to go all the way into the water. It's called Bleeding Bunkers. It's in my pro class. I've definitely checked that one out. It lets you get the sand all the way down in the water, so it looks like a proper beach instead of having this 2 or 3 yard little area right here that kind of sucks. But enough talking about it. Let's go ahead and hit that shot. What a shot. Beautiful. Another two-tiered green. Really don't mind this one. I like this one. I think maybe having this be a little more severe and maybe having a pinnable spot over here would be really, really nice so that you could have a pin here, and then this whole area be pinnable. Because my general rule of thumb is you want 3 pinnable areas minimal. Right now you got this pinnable area and this pinnable area. You can't really put a pin here comfortably. I mean, you could, but it's kind of a little unfair to have one slapped right there. Having this area a little bit bigger would allow you to just put 3 pins in. I do really like this small little bit of character right here. Like this little area. I like the black sand, I do. Just very nice how it plays in with the holes. Pin is a wee bit tucked back there. I don't really want to be hitting a pitch. Let's see if we can. Do that. Wind carried me a little further than I thought. Really, they're nice courses. They're just not complete. I feel like there's a little bit more in terms of tying in the environment with the courses. I feel like for the most part, it isn't decorated per se, the surrounding. It's more of just you use the sculpt tool to make hills and stuff. Which that's something that I'm trying to get better with too. I was a big sculptor. Everything that I did on the course is just sculpting wise. But having big rocks up here, some trees up here, shrubbery, maybe like you got a waterfall here and a little bit of shrubbery, but having this all the way around this, because this is also your course's main focal point, this big volcano right here. Just the world feels, I mean, the course is nice, but the world itself feels a little bare. I feel like you did run out of objects and stuff by the grass, but I mean, honestly, you don't really need grass in this area, any of this right here. You could just keep this as is and take this object counter and start using it up here. Because this is one thing from Arctic Fury. I remember listening to one of his interviews. One of the things he tries to do is he tries to fill the entire screen with something visually. You've already got that kind of here. It's just if there was some actual decoration up here, if there's a little decoration right here, if there was something more over here to look at. Filling the entire screen with something visual is a big thing. It just, you know how ADD everybody's brains are nowadays. If you have the entire screen with something at it, people's minds are just going to go insane. They're going to be like, wow, this is some of the best stuff I've ever seen. Just because the entire screen is filled with something. That's why you can have some of the most beautiful, most strategic golf holes, but if they only fill up 10-20% of the screen off the tee box, people don't think near as much of them. Alright, this slope is just way too long. Like if I barely miss this down, I'm all the way down off the screen. It's just a little too extended. This is like 15 yards of slope right here. This little too, if there's a pin over here, this is too slopey for a pin. You can see the yellow kind of bleeding into the green. Yeah, you kind of just need to rework this green. The pinnable areas are just too small. There's just too much going on the green, too much movement all over the place. This area needs to be either a little wider or just take it out, because this is just too small to be realistic. But, I mean, I guess we are kind of getting into the fantasy aspect now. Oh, I might have just caught that hill I was just talking about, and I did. Pretty crazy. Yeah, you can see it a lot better now. It's from all the way right here, all the way down to here, it's red or yellow. It's just way too much. And then this pinnable area is so tiny up here. Offers your players basically nowhere to land the ball.
Setting up here for your fourth shot.
Ooh.
Oh, chipping it in for par, saving yourself like that.
Huh, haven't heard that music before. I wonder if that's new.
Okay, even par at the moment.
Alright, now the fourth. Yeah, this is what I was looking at in terms of fantasy. This is kind of jarring, I'm not gonna lie. Not just because of the hole setup, just because of the course continuity. Your first 3 holes there felt pretty realistic. I mean, they didn't feel too out of the box, too nothing crazy. They felt kind of realistic. I mean, a little bit of touch of fantasy, but that's okay. Uh, Now it just feels like we've gone full fantasy out of nowhere. Like we were playing a regular golf course, and now holy crap, we're back in a video game world. Like this is just insane. Like I feel like a regular par 3 here, something similar to what you've been building, would have flowed a lot nicer. It's just this kind of feels like it just came out of left field. Like you were just kind of thinking, oh, what can I put in here that's kind of crazy? Maybe this is where you decided, all right, I'm going to make this into a fantasy course, was on the 4th hole. But keeping some course continuity in there is definitely very, very important. Because this is very jarring for the player to go from a regular course to this all of a sudden. And even the green itself, like, you didn't put a lot of time and effort into the green, I feel. It's just really one little slope in the middle that's kind of kicking everything every way. There isn't really a lot of effort or time or thought put into all the sloping and movement. It just kind of forces everything up against this outer rim, which is kind of awkward for anybody to play. Really kind of confused, honestly. The other holes were very, very nice. Go to this out of nowhere.
Oh my.
Very jarring.
This one's just a
But
three-footer.
I'm not the designer.
One over par.
I don't know what you're going for.
Par 4 for
Could have been going for anything. This one, let's see how far it is. See, this one again, like, this is very close to a normal course, like a regular hole, which I feel like you got a strong suit in kind of making some really good, realistic looking holes. I mean, some of the other holes out here looked very, very nice. Like this one right here, feels like you kind of just went wild with the fairway, no real thought into the curving in and curving out, just kind of hit it straight down the middle. And I feel like having this extend maybe another 50 yards out here, instead of being 200 at the closest, you could be 150 at the closest. So just kind of make it a little bit awkward. killed it too.
All right, we're in the fairway bunker.
So now I've got extremely long shot. And then again, here's another thing kind of with the continuity. This green is just massive, kind of out of nowhere. Uh, Not really sure why. But yeah, it's just big out of nowhere. It just kind of needs to be similar to the other sizes of the other greens. Oh, what a shot.
And this one's about 210 yards or so from the pin.
Get one up the slope. On back down.
Oh yeah, you'll take those.
Yeah, this green's just a little bit too big. Smaller green with some surrounds around it, like some nice fairway surrounds would have been very nice right there.
Sixth hole coming up.
Alright, we got a big climber up the hill. I actually like this. Your fairway work is nice. I like the way that you do your fairways. It's very smooth, very clean. This one could use a little bit more character, but I like it.
There we go. Nice contact on that one.
I usually don't see, one thing that I don't see a lot too with these videos is I don't see a lot of people with clean fairway work.
For some extra.
But your fairways are fairly clean, and I like the bumps knocking players off and some little catch areas. It's hard to do nice fairways, especially for new designers. They seem to struggle with them a lot.
This could be heading for the rough.
Green, again, I can tell this is a stock shape. Don't use stock shapes, just don't. All it does is show laziness. Everybody knows their stock shapes. Even if this isn't a stock shape, this is extremely close to a stock shape. There's one that has four little bumps out on it, even if you did hand draw it. And still, again, this pinnable area is just too small up here. This pinnable area is too small. Just kind of needs some reworking with the slopes and stuff.
Here we go. Birdie
What a terrible putt.
Great way to bounce back. Nice birdie on this.
Beautiful looking hole here. This is what I was talking about with some rock work and some bush work up on the mountain side would make this absolutely beautiful. I guess this is a nice looking hole right here. Ooh, that's not, but this is a nice looking hole. If you just had some rocks and trees and stuff in the background. I mean, the foreground is beautiful too. I love the foreground right here. All of this, if you just take the bottom half of the screen, this is a beautiful hole. Take the top half, it's kind of eh. Alright, looking at this green bunker in the middle of a green, something that is very, very hard to do and pull off. I've tried it multiple times. It's so hard to do in the game correctly. Yeah, this green is just insane. Way too much red, way too many slopes. Don't even know what this is supposed to be up here. Maybe that's a pinnable area. I hope not. I really, really hope not. Just some funky slopes all over the place. This green, beautiful location for a green. I think if you just had a perched little green up here with a little bit of fairway running down, maybe a bunker in the front, this would be an awesome hole. But I kind of feel like this right here is a little bit too far gone and kind of just needs to be restarted at this point. I mean, you could probably make something work with a bunker in the middle right here, but I feel like you just don't need it. And that's something, like, even for me, putting a bunker in the middle of the green now, that's something that I haven't attempted in a while because I know how difficult it is to pull off correctly. Alright.
That's gonna work.
Ooh, what a putt.
This one's just 3 feet.
Yeah, my last course with one in there was Red Rock Mountain. Can't remember. I think it was hole like 12 or 13. But it actually works because it's basically two separate greens split by a bunker. There's certain ways that you can do it that actually make it work well, but it's just so hard to do, especially in the game. There's all this going on right here. I really like that. See, this stuff like this right here is kind of what you'd needed on the rest of the course on some of the cliff sides. Needed some rock work, a little bit of bush work kind of meshed in. That's kind of what I was talking about. Still needs a little bit more, a little bit extra on top of it. Maybe a second type of rock, a third type of rock mixed in there. But that's what we're looking for. I do like this bunker right here. I love fairway bunkers that have perched up back edges. You get a little bit of rough right here. Just always make sure you clean up the bunker edges. Green is not terrible. I wouldn't really have this feeding off into here because this is just kind of a dead zone. It's just kind of rude to the players to force them back there. I'll just have that whole back edge just kind of be more flat-ish.
Coming in for a landing here on the green.
I keep in mind, I say this every now and again, but everything in design is subjective. Some people are always going to like something different than other people. That's just how it is. I may like something different that you may not. So just keep that in mind as I'm quote unquote, or I guess I am technically judging things, but as I'm judging things, just keep that in mind the whole time. That it's just this is my opinion. This is how I feel about things. You can take bits and pieces out of what I think and incorporate it into your own builds with your own creativity. That's the whole point of this, just to kind of give another point of view on a lot of the design. Because, I mean, as a designer, you can get so in your own world, in your own head for so long designing, that you completely forget that there's other ways to do everything. Like, if you watch somebody else build a course, it is insane because you're just like, wow, I would have never gone about half of that way. That's just how it is with design. Green here again. Kind of an awkward knoll here with this top. I don't know if this is meant to be a pinnable area or if it's just meant to kick balls around or what. But just a little awkward. I like this bunker back here. Useless fairway. I don't mind useless fairways like this if it's playing a visual purpose. And that right there is what makes downslopes into downslopes so scary, especially in this game. Ooh. That doesn't even matter if we make it coming back.
Okay, we're gonna take another look at that. Let's see the replay.
I don't care about the replay.
All right, good job there. That's bringing you down. Losing par now. All right.
Number 10. Alright, where are we going? Straight to the right? I think we are. Just need some work. If I want to have this be a runoff area, if it's just going to take me into here, have like a little bit of something here. I build ducks. But I feel like instead of just having this look as shoddy as it is, having it more cleaned up and a nice edge on here would look nicer. Make sure I'm not sure if you do know how to submerge your rocks. These rocks would be a lot better submerged into the ground. On PC, it's page up, page down, is how you raise and lower things. But just having it in the ground so it gives a little bit more of a visual line to the green. Of course, it's not too big of an issue from the tee box, but oof, that's an issue from the tee box right there. I'm actually not sure if we can make it there anymore because the wind has changed directions on me. But we're just gonna hit it anyway. Oop. Shoot. See, this is a good runoff right here. Good example of a runoff. I'm running off into some fairway, whereas over here I run off, I'm not. Let me chip that one up.
Great chip shot there. Pure. That's pure. And you're one over at the moment. Let's see what we can do here on.
Alright. Nice little hole. I like the bunker mixed with the tree up here. Tree is in a good spot to be in the fairway. It's out of the way. If you were behind the tree, you messed up. I do like the push-up style of this. I just think that's a little too aggressive. Maybe half of the height. Maybe a third of the height over here. I like the two tiers, the little split. Not a bad green, not a bad green. Mind this one at all. Oh, caught on the little slip there.
Third. Ooh, look at here. Nice chip. That one
Alright,
for the
coming on
birdie.
down to number 12.
Tee shot and landed nicely in that
I
bunker.
like this one again. I like the way that you got little backs on the bunkers. It's something that I've done for a long time. Uh, yeah, this is what I was talking about. Like your course right here, this all feels like a regular course. That one hole, number 4, just kind of seemed like it was out of nowhere. Just felt like it was out of left field.
Nice swing onto that one.
I like the 2 bunkers up here. I like the placement of them. Very nice.
Second shot.
Strategic wise. This bunker here is a little low. I don't even think you really need this bunker anyway. If I'm hitting my ball down here, I'm already messed up. So really no need for that one. See, this bunker maybe need to be raised up just a hair to be able to see it. See the back of this one's really visible and the back of this one's not at all. Don't really think you need a fairway running behind that. Nor do you really need fairway running down and off. You kind of, when you have fairway like this, you kind of want it to be off and in a flat area to like catch balls instead of having it just be put you in an awkward position or put you in the water. Oh, I can't believe I stopped right there. That's crazy.
Okay, here's our third shot.
Oop,
And
little chip in.
he's gonna hold this one out. Look at you. Okay, we're gonna
Yeah, I
need
feel like they
here.
changed the music. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like the music is different from what it used to be.
Okay,
I don't think I remember this.
one under.
Actually, 1 under.
Let's see what happens here on the 13th hole.
Yeah, this is nice. I like this. A little bit of rework, and this is just a little bit too big of an area for a yellow. Like all this is yellow. Think you're gonna put a flag or a flag up here. I feel like a little bit more pinnable area up here, or having this kind of curve in right here. Bunker placements. I like these 2 bunkers. The one on the back I don't really like. It needs to either be raised up or deleted. Front edge is just too aggressive right here. This area right here is a little awkward for any balls landing all of this. But the rest of the hole is nice. I do like the idea of this one a lot.
Nice swing.
I just hit a good shot. Nice little feeder hole.
Nice. That was the club. And after that, you're 2 under. Looks like a par 4 for this one.
Yes, I like this one a lot. This is what I was talking about. Your fairway work is beautiful. I mean, this is, while it's not a lot, there's not a lot going on. It's a beautiful, simple, nice fairway. It's got a nice little bunker spot in it. This right here is a nice little fairway. This is what I mean though. Your fairways and stuff are nice. This place anywhere on, like this anywhere is a good hole. It's just a matter of having the decoration to go along with it. Just it's not bad decorated. I just for some reason I just feel like it's missing. This course is just missing a little bit on the decoration. Like I just there's something missing somewhere.
This one's around 135 yards out.
Like this is just a little too aggressive, and same thing with it. Kind of needs some direct decoration on it. Needs something there. Having a spot like this, like a raised hill on a bend in a green is very bad because if I'm over here, there's no chance I'm ever putting my ball over here. This needs to be a depression so it allows me to hit my ball in and bend around the corner. If you have raised spots on corners like this, your ball's never going to be able to get over to here without chipping on the green. And this is just kind of a weird spot for a yellow. To have a green on top of it like this, that's definitely unpinnable. You never want to have greens on top of slopes that are supposed to be helping or feeding or anything. It just makes an awkward spot for a ball to get caught on. Not a bad shape for a green. I feel like I know what you're going for with the green. It just needs a little bit more work to it.
That'll do for the approach. And just put this one in its home. It's a long way from home, but
Even where I was right there, it was hard to get my ball
Par.
up by the hole.
Yikes, that went right by. It's going to put you up to 1 under par. Here comes hole number 15.
Alright. Again, I like the bunker placements. I like the fairway. Green looks nice. This looks like a nice hole.
Oh my
I like this one.
goodness, just annihilated that.
See how the green is. This all over here looks pretty good. This right here is a little aggressive. I don't think this needs to be quite so slanted. And this right here just has got a little bit too much. This needs to be a little flatter right here. But otherwise than that, this entire hole, I like this entire hole a lot. This is a good hole. There's really nothing I can complain about other than this slope right here needs to be a little bit flatter and this needs to be a little flatter. Other than that, I really like this hole. Good job.
This one is for the birdie. After that, you go down.
16.
Let's see.
Nice tee shot with a nice little lift up over there. Got a rock guard in the green.
Looks like this one will be safe in the fairway.
Simple fairway, maybe a little bit of movement in the fairway to make it a slight bit more interesting. Ooh. I don't think you needed the bunker right behind there. I feel like the rock is enough in and of itself. To put the bunker there is just kind of a little bit too much. Green is also a little wild. I've tried this punch bowl thing on a green before. While it's not bad, it's just not an A tier green. I feel like the green's just a little too big too. You just got too much green that you're trying to work with here. Just needs to be a smaller green and restart from there.
And there's some fantastic golf putting for eagle.
Because it's a par 5, I don't feel like it's an issue at all that you have the green right behind that rock.
For the eagle.
Now we are in the volcano.
And up to a par 3.
For a long hole, this isn't a very deep green. That's the first thing that catches me off guard. And for how downhill it is. Kind of need the green to be a little longer to give you a little bit more area to land. Because this is kind of just a guessing game on distances now.
Ooh, this one might be going a bit long.
Yeah.
Oops, there goes the. Yeah, that's the water.
Oh, wow. Drops me over here.
Stuff here.
Oof. Oh,
And this is your 5th shot.
yeah, need to put a little bit of time, always put some time into thinking about where your players are going to have to drop. Dropping from the tee box in this hole is just not a good idea. That's just, or I guess it's not a bad idea, but it's just, I don't know. It's just a wild hole. It's just a hard one to work with. This is kind of similar to the number 4 hole, how it's just a little jarring and it's a little crazy. It's not as crazy as number 4, but it's a little wild. Now that we're getting on to 18 here, I'm going to say it. Number 4 just needs to be taken out of the course and redone. There's no need to have a hole how number 4 was. The rest of your course is realistic, very nice looking. To have 4 thrown in there, it's almost like you drew up a Picasso and then you just slammed a paintbrush right through the top corner of it. And just, like, you have a nice course here. That one hole is just very confusing. This is going to be insane. I do really like the look of this fairway down here, though.
That swing was to die for.
How long is that going to take to hit the ground right there? Still going. Still going. Ooh. Wow, that went a mile.
Be careful with this one. You were in the mulch.
I like this hole here. Get people running off into the water again. I'm not a fan of that, but I understand why you have it there. Oop, oop. Not a bad green. I like the green too.
Okay, we're on the green.
Nothing super fancy, pretty simple.
Down
A
to
green that doesn't have, like, a green that's too simple is a good green. If your green's too simple, that's better than having one that's got too much going on.
setting up
Simple green will beat a crazy green any day.
Goes down, and we're done
All
here.
right, now we finished up. Overall, really enjoyed your fairways, really enjoyed your bunkers. Really nice work there. Decoration, need a little bit more work on the decoration, just a little bit more stuff around the course. Uh, your stuff, all your decorations seemed very localized. Like it was there, you had decoration there, it just wasn't fully fleshed out. Your greens, I feel like if there's anything that you've done out here that needs the most work, it is the greens. The greens just need a little bit more time and care into shape, into where your pinnable areas are, where your slopes are going to be. I've said it a few times before, but the general rule of thumb is you want about 10% of your green to be red slope, maybe 20 to be yellow, and then that other like 70 to 60% needs to all be green. More like 70%. 70 to 80% green is more what I aim for on my courses. Uh, you just don't want that many slopes on your green, and you want those slopes to actually mean something where they are. You want them to be a helper or a herder slope. You want them to throw a player's ball somewhere for a reason. Uh, Other than that, I really enjoyed your course. As I said, with number four definitely needs to be changed or taken out or something. But the whole course is beautiful. I really enjoyed it. I think you have some very, very high potential. Like I've played a lot of courses by supposed first-time designers, and apparently this is your first one as well. Uh, but this one is very up there. I think you have a lot of potential, and you can go very far. I would definitely stray away from fantasy courses. I think from what I've seen out here today, your realistic courses are going to be your strong suit. Your realism out here was very, very good to be on such a fantasy-esque course. Other than that, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.